Hi creative friends, I'm Jane from Sustain My Craft Habit. We have a little twist on Thrifted Thursday this week. Today we're sharing 3 winter crafts that we made with dollar store supplies, although you can often find the same items at the thrift store. So let's get started. If you see these silver chargers at the dollar store or thrift store, be sure to grab them for some crafting fun. I decided to use this lovely winter scape napkin for this particular craft. And I used my water pen to trace around the evergreen trees on the design and then cut the rest of the napkin to just fit in the bottom half of the charger. I used some of my Decor decoupage glue and positioned that in place. It doesn't take a lot, you just need a little bit of the glue down on your surface and then place the tissue over top. And I folded the areas that I hadn't yet glued down because I didn't really want it to be overlapping too much. I didn't want the glue on the uncovered area of my charger plate because you can see it's quite reflective and I wanted to keep it that way. This particular napkin also had a pair of deer that I just couldn't resist including on the design, so I separated them out and then glued them onto the winter scene. Next, I used a bit more of the decoupage glue and put that on the branches of the trees and then sprinkled them with some diamond dust to give it a little bit of snowy sparkle. I added a really pretty wired gray ribbon with red berries. I just made a simple double bow with that and then glued that onto the top center of the plate. I added in a little bit of greenery, some red berries, and then just a few little silver bells. And I absolutely love how this piece turned out. Not only is it a beautiful gift for the holidays, but it's actually a lovely piece of decor for the whole winter through. For the next craft, we're going to use this fishbowl, which we actually picked up at the thrift store, but you can find them at the dollar store. And we're going to make a centerpiece with this. So I really wanted to put on this adorable snowman napkin motif onto just the one section of the fishbowl. I used my water pen to just trace around the design and then rip it out to give it that nice frayed edge. And then because we're putting this on a rounded surface, I just cut a few little slits around to be able to bend the paper when we place it down. Now, if you want a more translucent effect, you can skip this part, but I really wanted my snowman design to stand out, so I painted a little white circle to go in behind the napkin and then simply added some Mod Podge and placed that napkin motif, the little snowman, over top. The white circle actually just framed the snowman really nicely so that it looks like it's all one piece. I thought it would look neat to spray around the outer edge of the snowman with a little bit of this snow spray, but it didn't dry or work really well in the end, so I ended up just wiping it away once the project was done. For the centerpiece, I scoured my house to find all the faux florals that were either white or really light cream color to put in this snowy arrangement. So I found some of these huge white peonies. I actually disassembled a spring wreath for this. I found some white roses and little anemones. Before I completely finished the arrangement, I dumped in a little bit of this snow, this fake snow, to cover up that foam block to make it look more neutral and white. And then to give the centerpiece a lovely glow, I tucked in there a strand of battery-operated twinkle lights. I then continued adding the florals, including the roses and some natural Sola flowers that I just put onto some skewers and tuck those in there to create a nice kind of rounded arrangement on the top. While this was looking lovely as it was, I wanted to add in a final little touch, and so I took a piece of driftwood and first painted it white on both sides and let that dry, and then added on some details such as a scarf, buttons, and a cute face to make a really fun little snowman to go right inside my arrangement. I I glued him onto another skewer and then tucked that right into the flowers. And that's how we transformed this thrift store or dollar store fishbowl into a beautiful centerpiece. I'll be having this cutie out all through the winter, probably up until the springtime, because it's just so neutral and cute for winter. Now, one could argue that our third craft for this week is more Christmas than winter, but I think because we put a snowman on there that it qualifies as a winter craft. We're using this dollar store wooden star. This came either from the Dollarama or the Dollar Tree, I can't remember. I started by painting it a coat of red first, and I was planning to do a white crackle over top, which is what I did. Let that dry, and then covered that with some Elmer's glue, spread that around. And while it was still wet, I kind of dried it with my heat tool for about 10 seconds, but not too dry because you need the glue to still be quite tacky and wet for the crackle to form. I then added on a layer of my white paint. It happened to be a white chalky paint, but you could also use a white acrylic paint. Now, while this either air dries or you can use a tool such as our heat tool, as the paint dries, it creates this really lovely crackle on top. After the surface was ready, it was time to embellish, and I used the same technique with my water pen to trace around this snowman and then glued him onto the star right in the center. I used a little bit of the Decor decoupage glue on my brush and just put a thin layer and then pasted that snowman right on there. After placing on the snowman, I simply added this cute buffalo check ribbon, a little bit of greenery, and some of these red Sola wood flowers. Finally, to give it a little bling, I added on some of these jewels that I'd picked up off of Amazon back in the spring. And I think he's just so cute. What do you think? Do you think it's too Christmassy or is it winter? We hope you enjoyed these 3 upcycled / dollar store craft ideas this week for winter and that you found some inspiration. Be sure to like and subscribe for more nature-inspired upcycling DIY ideas. Thanks for watching. Bye!